It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Happy Monday to you. I'm Philip Simon.
And it is always a pleasure to be in your company, especially over the weekend. Before we go any further, I want to extend condolences to my entire family, particularly my Aunt Annalie Heiler, and the passing of my uncle Anthony Heiler, also known as Tufo, also known as Poco, always known as Perez. So many nicknames that we've called him over the years, all mostly related to his career in the Bahamas in baseball, and certainly we miss him this morning. So my condolences to the entire family.
Yeah, my condolences as well, Star.
Thank
You've
you.
spoken about him numerous times actually on the show, and Godfrey as well, and the journey that he has taken through life. So my
Yeah.
condolences to you and your family, and
Thank
of course, it's not just a family affair, but all of the people he would have encountered, friends, etc. Yeah, condolences.
Yeah.
But here we are. It's a new day.
Definitely.
Those
And get
of
to
us
live
who are alive and remain can
Yeah.
continue forward and moving on and make amends for deeds of the
Thank
past.
you.
And
Thank you,
just here to
Phil.
say that live on air.
He did the right
Sports
thing.
Illustrated Collector's Edition.
He
I
did
didn't
it.
even bother to crack the pages, Godfrey. I didn't want to put my fingerprints on the inside. Here you go, Star.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate this. You see, I appreciate this. And this is a man of his word. And so I thank you for that, Phil. I'm just going to move it to the side of the table
Okay,
now.
that side of the
So
table.
we're well aware that it's my book.
It used to belong to me.
And say thank you again.
Very welcome.
That definitely, especially the passing of my uncle that we call 24, and Kobe Bryant being 24, this means a lot to me. So I appreciate that.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. How was your weekend otherwise?
So that happened on Friday, which was, it's always a lot. And I think I was telling my mom yesterday, the hardest part of growing in age is having those people that have been with you all your life leaving you, which obviously happens the older that we get, the more people that we lose. And so that happened on Friday, and it was a bit, tough for the family, but I think we're very grateful when we look at his legacy of who he was and who he became, that we're proud of him, and we hope to meet him again someday. So, we were able to kind of move on from that. And then just spent it with family, took my daughter to Mardi Gras on Saturday. So now every day she wakes up and says, can we go to Mardi Gras? And it's like, no, you can't. Because she just, wanted to go on the bouncing castles. And so she had a good time. And then yesterday just spent it with my husband and her again. We went to brunch at the SLS, which was actually quite nice. Yeah. And
Which one?
Sky Bar.
Okay.
And so they feature
yeah,
4
that's
of their
right.
restaurants.
Yeah.
And so it's really quite nice, and enjoyed that and their company, and then just kind of rested.
Cool.
Yeah, what about you?
JA.
Okay.
It's been Jimmy Cheapman month all along.
Yeah.
Guys, don't get tired of hearing about Jimmy Cheapman. They will change this country, right? So they had the national speech competition on Friday, and then Bahama Jack.
Yeah,
You recall Bahama Jack. You've been a Bahama Jack participant.
indeed.
You've also presented at Bahama Jack. And we had Eleuthera, Andrus, trying to remember who else is here. Grand Bahama, of course. Grand Bahama, of course. So great weekend with the kids. And then yesterday concluded Bahama Jack with a church service at Bahamas Harvest. Listen, I want to say good morning
To Pastor
Mario and Erica
And
Moxie.
Pastor Erica.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, they've done a phenomenal job with revolutionizing the way we bring the gospel to young people. And it is a millennial-driven church, and, certainly one
I
that...
was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah,
Blown away. And the topic yesterday was think big, and that's exactly what they're doing down there. They're about to build 100,000 square foot. Anyway,
Right
we
there,
could talk about them all day. And so that was me. Of course, also I did attend the Bahamas Junkanoo and Arts Festival over the weekend as well.
Oh my God, that happened this past
Yes,
weekend?
it was.
I could have taken Kyle to a second Mardi Gras Sunday, totally forgot.
But my kids went to Mardi Gras as well, but I had to go because Mobile Sis also participated in that.
Yeah,
but it was,
my
it was
Sarah
nice.
Angelique is one of the organizers of that, and so congratulations. I don't know how I missed that from my calendar. I would have definitely gone. But glad that it turned out to be a wonderful weekend. We hope that you enjoyed it too. We've got a great show lined up for you, and so we hope that you'll stay with us.
Yeah, great show, busy show as usual here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Atlantic Medical is back. Those two good-looking guys going to be talking about heart disease and the Zest Wellness Program. The General Agents and Managers Association International, GAMA, is here to talk about the establishment of the first chapter outside of the United States.
That's awesome.
Well, I should say in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
They're all over the world, but certainly in the Caribbean. So this is really groundbreaking for them. And Rev, hopefully they're here to talk about their All-Star Weekend. That would be the Ingos, along with Chazelle, and they got to see Buddy do his thing.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to hear from them how they felt watching Buddy compete and seeing him win. That must have been awesome. In addition to that, we're still focusing on HBCUs for this month of Black History.
I've enjoyed every one of them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the legacy that HBCUs have with the people that lead our country is phenomenal. And so we're looking forward to that segment this morning. And in addition to that, we've got the Bahamas Insurance Association here. They're going to be talking about Insurance Month. And then we're going to be having the first ever charter show. And so the Ministry of Tourism is going to join us to talk more about what that show looks like and what it means. And so it really is going to be a great and dynamic show. So we hope that you'll stay with us. But before we get to any of that,
yeah, it was a little cool this weekend.
Yeah, it was.
And apparently more might be coming. But anyway, the guy himself, Godfrey, I can't do like Gandhi, but listen, Godfrey Burnside is going to give us our first look at Weather at Sunrise.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Phil. Good morning, Bahamas. I'd like to extend my condolences to Star and also to have the family in the passing of 2-4, Perez, Bud, whatever you want to call him this morning, my good friend, with a storied journey through life. May he rest in peace. You first look at the weather sunrise this morning. High pressure going to be the dominant feature, and that's continue to produce some breezy conditions across the islands. But inside, there's a cool front or a strong one. Should move sometime on Thursday morning, bring some shower thunderstorms, with some cool temperatures, and that will take you through the weekend with those cool temperatures, so prepare with some jackets and blankets for the weekend. In the weather today, we're looking at partly sunny, still breezy, a little warmer, and there's a chance of little showers, particularly in the southeastern islands. High temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few clouds around, still on the cool side. The low temperature going down to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And there's some region highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 82 and 77. In Jamaica 77 and 69. In Trinidad, 87 and 75, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, 78 and 72. Across North America, Atlanta, 56 and 46. In Raleigh, 56 and 42. In Miami, 76 and 66. Dallas, Texas, 60 and 49. And Toronto, Canada, 36 and 33. As we look into the weekend, have a cold front. Just move here over to Providence sometime on Thursday morning. Bring some increasing cloudiness, some showers, and some cool temperatures. Ahead of that front, those temperatures reach into the mid-80s at daytime, the lower 70s at nighttime. After that front passes, upper 60s to lower 70s daytime, and the mid to upper 50s at nighttime, in particular over the Grand Bahama Abaco area, come this weekend. That puts you up in your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Well, all month long, we've been celebrating historically Black colleges and universities. And of course, this morning, that continues in our celebration of Black History Month. Very happy to welcome my good brother and sister, Sheen Aubrey, who attended St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Giselle Lightbourne, who attended Philander Smith College in Little Rock, Arkansas. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you.
A pleasure to have you both with us. And Shane, you know, we certainly know you are St. Augustine's man. What do you think about, it was about St. Augustine's? It really kind of sets it apart from the other HBCUs.
I don't know if we say set it apart, but with respect to the experience, St. Aug, you get a great sense of family and support. As you can tell, we have quite a number of Bahamians there. And every so often, I'm up on campus, and the same things I saw back then when I attended St. Aug, I see it's still going on today.
Okay.
Where, like I say, you have that support, that family experience
Okay.
and everybody wants you to succeed. So it's a wonderful school, and the president of the school was here, the university was here last week.
Okay.
We had dinner.
Okay.
So we have a few things on the table. We're looking forward to seeing more Bahamians go to St. Aug and come out and be productive citizens.
Okay. And so will he be joining us for the HBCU College Fair?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So people will get the chance to meet him directly, obviously, and kind of learn more about St. Aug. And you guys really have a strong alumni network here in the Bahamas as well. I know quite a few people that went to St. Aug. What do you think students need to look forward to now as they prepare themselves, if it is a journey that they want to take, maybe even to just enjoying the city of Raleigh in North Carolina?
Man, Raleigh. I was in Raleigh, I guess, about two years ago. It has changed.
Yeah.
It has transformed. Raleigh is almost a big city now, to the point where I had to actually use a GPS.
Okay.
And one of the brothers, he was like, "Man, you don't remember anything?" I said, it has totally changed. So, Raleigh, it's a wonderful city. The state of North Carolina on the whole, I love North Carolina. It's a wonderful state for education.
Okay.
Raleigh is a part of what we call Research Triangle Park, where it's big on medicine for those who in the health field. So yeah, Raleigh, St. Aug, in terms of HBCU, we're almost less than 10 minutes. And Shore University less than 10 minutes from each other.
Okay.
And then if you want to step up and go to a bigger school, you have NC State, which is not HBCU. But in terms of that Research Triangle Park area, Durham, North Carolina Central, it's a wonderful, wonderful city. And like I said, Raleigh on the whole, great for studying.
It sounds so. And so, I like the fact that you talked about the fact that obviously St. August there, but you also have these other universities, and so you get to have this experience of interacting with and meeting so many different types of people. So, Giselle, for you, what was it like being in Little Rock, Arkansas, attending the great Philander Smith College?
So starting off, I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, well, is it going to be like going to a larger school? And then when I realized it was a smaller school, I'm like, oh, well, I won't get the full HBCU experience. But I realized that I got the experience and so much more. Okay. I could definitely relate to Frado when he talked about the community and the sense of family, not only within the current students, but even alumni who come back. Okay. And then even staff who they really get on you to make sure that you're doing your best work, not just here to prepare you for the future.
Okay. And you get that often going to college, right? And so obviously I didn't go to an HBCU, so I went to a very big university. And it was cool, but the family thing that I hear you guys talk about was more the sense of community we developed as relationships rather than coming from teachers and staff. So that's really exciting for me to hear you say, they know you by your name and they can kind of remind you that you need to be doing your best work now. When you think about students that may be applying or interested to Philander Smith, what do you think are some of the qualities that they need to possess in order to really take advantage of that opportunity? And for you, Franachine, if you have any commentary on that.
Be open-minded.
Okay.
Go to school with an open mind, because many times you have freshmen entering school, they don't really know what they want to major in. There are courses that you will have to take regardless of what your major is.
Okay.
So if you're undecided of what you want to focus on career-wise, take those courses first.
Okay.
And as you get involved in the various organizations, you get involved in the school itself, you start to learn that experience.
Okay.
And for persons who are interested in attending HBCUs, March 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday, we have college presidents and admissions counselors coming to Nassau for our HBCU College Fair.
Okay.
So it's going to be at the Bahamas Convention Center, 10 a.m. on the Saturday and 1 o'clock on the Sunday.
Okay.
At the moment, we have 18 colleges confirmed.
Wow.
There are 24 on the list.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to a few more joining us. And they're coming down to give out scholarships.
Yeah.
We did it last year. It was the first time we did it. We have more schools interested now. So we went to a bigger facility to accommodate the crowd that we expect. And when we tell persons, come on down, bring your transcripts, have it in hand, because they are actually giving you scholarships on the spot.
I was able to witness it last year, and it was phenomenal to see. And I tell people, you just have to be ready for opportunity when it meets you, and you rise to meet it. And Sarah Tizelle, as you think about your career now, your trajectory since graduating from Philander Smith, how important has that HBCU foundation been to who you are today and to who you've become?
I really feel that it shaped me in that it helped me to understand more about myself, not just as a Bahamian, but as a Black person, interacting with people from different parts of the world, really, because we had students from Rwanda and then students within the United States who have different cultures. So it helped me to embrace pride as a Black person and realizing that even though there are different cultures, we all have a lot of similarities that overlap. It helped me to have more pride. I thought that Bahamians had the biggest pride, but I think when you go away, you definitely have that greater sense of pride in that this is where I'm from. You learn to embody, what it is to truly be a Bahamian, so that people could understand, okay, this is what a Bahamian's about. Definitely through joining different organizations in my sorority, that helped me to really understand that you're part of something that's bigger than you. And so when you take that on and you embody those qualities, you stand out more, and people say, okay, what shaped this person? And it's all of these different organizations and different interactions that you have with people.
Okay, excellent. Well, listen, I love the sound of that, and I love ending on that note. I think one of the fears that people have is that living in a global world, sometimes an HBCU might limit you. But one of the things that we've heard consistently as we've done this series is all the people that people have met from HBCUs and the way that they've been able to expose their minds, even from an international perspective, while still feeling the family feel, while still having a greater sense of who they are. And so I think you guys are a wonderful reminder of that this morning, and we want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And like we said, March 14th, Bahama Convention Center, 10 a.m.
Right.
And March 15th, 1 p.m.
Okay.
at the Bahama Convention Center, the HBCU College Fair.
All right.
So all of you 12th graders and 11th graders who are interested in attending an HBCU, come on down, bring your transcripts out, and get some of this scholarship money.
Make it happen. Thank you guys again. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Incubus is a shared workspace company that provides services for professionals, freelancers, anybody that's in need of a turnkey solution for a private office space, a conference room rental, or part-time office space service. One of our main services that we provide to our members is high-speed internet access. There can be up to about 50 members within our space utilizing the internet and the Rev voice services. And Rev has done an excellent job of dedicated, reliable, high-speed internet service.
Welcome back to the show. The General Agents and Managers Association International is establishing the first Caribbean chapter, and so proud to have the Bahamas leading the charge in this particular mandate. Here to talk about the significance of this and the organization is Michael Adderley. He's GAMA's Vice President. Devon Brenner, he's a Board Director, and of course Keno McCartney, inaugural President. My brother is a distinguished gentleman here on Bahamas at Sunrise, of course, the female of course, part of the organization as well. But good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is it.
Thank you.
The week is finally here.
Yes. It's here.
You've done it. The organization, I was surprised to learn the organization has been around for a long time, but finally making its way to the Caribbean, of course, led by yourselves. Talk about GAMA.
Well, GAMA, as you indicated, GAMA stands for General Agents and Managers Association, and it's a worldwide association serving the professional needs of our more than 3,000 individuals and individuals in the insurance services industry. Over 50 companies are part of this organization. The whole focus is to develop industry managers and leaders in frontline management in the insurance and financial services industry. So we have, this organization is leading the way, especially here in the Bahamas. So these men and also women who are part of our association are making an impact in our industry.
You know, again, Michael, I almost wanted to say you've been around for a long time, but you have been around. You have been in the industry for a little bit longer than Keno, right? Just a little bit longer. But talk about the significance of this. I mean, obviously, we're quite familiar with the insurance sector and financial services sector in the country, but what is the significance of this chapter being established in the Bahamas?
Well, one of the things that prior to a lot of Bahamian companies starting to take over the insurance company, we were linked to the Canada and America, which had a vast training organization. And because we didn't have that, what we're trying to do is to link with an international training like GAMA and bring that chapter here. So we now can reestablish that link. So our managers, our field managers could be trained and making sure that we are providing the best service for our agents who will then take it to the clients.
Yeah, you know, when we think about professionals, generally speaking, here in the country, and this is great stuff, we think about, you know, financial services, we think about insurance agents, etc. But okay, so this is the week, right? And you have a lot of activities that are planned for this week as well. I don't know if Devon wants to get into that or
Michael. Well, first of all, we have two international speakers coming there. We're going to have the GAMA president, Frank Skaliski. He's going to be here as well as GAMA CEO, Bonnie Godsman. But in addition to that, we're going to have some local speakers. Gordon Bowe is going to be also speaking. In addition to that, we're going to have one of the renowned motivational trainer speakers, Dr. Keith Major. He's going to deliver a fiery speech. And of course, I've got to give a plug for my president, Glenn Ritchie from Family Guardian. He's also going to be speaking. I got to make sure I do that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We'll give those other two an opportunity to do the same just in case. But you're recognizing, I mean, as a part of this establishment, you're recognizing some heavyweights in the industry.
Yes, very good. And to add what Mr. Hadley would have mentioned, we're so excited to be not just showcasing the talents of persons who would have paved the way. We are honoring and awarding persons who would have done just so. So we have a few awards: a Lifetime Achievement Award, Dr. Keith Major. We have Frontline Leaders Award. We have Mr. Bossier from Family Guardian, Mr. Gerald Strawn from Family Guardian, Mr. Manny Relaxio from Colina, Mr. Anthony Ferguson, Colina, Mr. Chester Cooper. I have to give a shout out to my president. Good morning, Mr. Cooper. Everything is okay. We're going to be awarded Mr. Cooper and Mr. John Wilson, just to name a few of the first round of honorees, person we're going to be awarding this time around. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. So the Bahamas, we coming.
All right. So in addition to that, what's the calendar for the activities for the week?
But the activities for the week, before I do that, let me get my shout out. Point to my wife, please.
Right. Yeah, Trump, y'all.
But of course, Mr. Lexio and of course, Mr. Ferguson, we're very happy that they're part of this. And the week starts off on Wednesday. We have a welcome reception. On the 26th. Then on the 27th, we're really excited about that. That's going to be the educational seminar from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2. It's going to be held at Bahamas Convention Center. And then the awards dinner, which is going to be on the 28th from 7 to 10 p.m. again at Bahamas. We have a lot of exciting things planned. I encourage many persons who are out there who are in the financial services industry to come and be a part of this initiative.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's limited. Well, is any of that open to the general public? Or
it is.
Okay.
We're opening up to the general public. The tickets are very inexpensive. It's only $100 for each one of the events. And so we encourage the general public to come and be a part of this.
You talk about, talked about some of the goals of the international organization, and of course the work that would have been done even locally. But how do you think Gamma Bahamas can really help to build our country as a whole?
Well, one of the things that we want to do is that we want to take the insurance industry, our agents, we want to turn into true professionals.
Okay.
And so therefore we're going to introduce things like continuing education to make sure that they are always on the cutting edge of what's happening. And so therefore this raise the standard. So most of those things will happen through our educational training.
Okay, all right, great, all right, good. So any specific organizations, usually when you start, you hit the ground running. I mean, the first year is, obviously going to be probably most important.
Right. This is the most important year, obviously, because there's a lot of heavy lifting. Yeah. But we're encouraging, again, any company. Let me just say there are 3 companies that started this. We have Family Guardian, we have British American Insurance, and we have Colina. Right. And I give my hats off to those 3 companies who've supported this initiative. But of course, we're encouraging all the other companies that are out there. Right. This is Insurance Month. Okay. And we're supporting Insurance Month. We're supporting the Bahamas Insurance Association. We met with them. We met with the ICB. That's the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, and they are all supporting this initiative.
Okay. All right, great. I don't know if Devin wants to give any more shout-outs before we close, just to be sure.
No shout-outs, but I just want to let my colleagues know in the industry, particularly nationally, that we intend to make this a very groundbreaking, exciting event, week of events, because we want to be able to grow. We want to be able to be the true professionals that we know that we can be, because we want to be able to serve our communities well.
No doubt about it. And
there's one more thing I have to mention. On Wednesday morning, we fly out to Freeport, Grand Bahama, and the president, the CEO, Bonnie Godsman, will be traveling to take a look at Grand Bahama, and to look at how Doreen has affected and impacted that area. And we'll be making, as an organization, a contribution to those 2 areas, the children's home and the home for the elderly, because we want to be able to not only impact with education, but also impact tangibly on how we can help this country.
Listen, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Gamma. You guys are bringing down the heavyweights themselves for the organization. Keena McCartney, president of Gamma Bahamas, director Devon Brenner, and of course Brennan, and of course Michael Adley, first vice president. All right, great. Congratulations once again.
Thanks a lot.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
We get up early every morning to offer safe and dependable service. Where quality service is paramount. An excellent travel experience is priority. Connecting the islands of the Bahamas to the world. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Worldwide Boat, a luxury charter company, is partnering with Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation and the Bahamas Marina Association to host the inaugural Bahamas Charter Show. Well, this is my first time hearing about it, and I'm sure it might be for you too, so this morning we're going to learn more about it and learn about the organization that's actually going to benefit from it. Very happy to welcome the Director of Cruise and Maritime for the Ministry of Tourism. We've got Director Hepburn here with us, and in addition to that, she's brought along Alexandria Melis-Lynch, who we all know very well from the Ranfley Homes, and she'll be talking about the way that they get to benefit from this initiative. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
A pleasure to have you with us. And you're doing very well. Yes, okay. So as we talk about this today, what is a charter show?
Well, the charter show, it's actually called the Bahamas Charter Show, and it's actually a yacht show.
Okay.
And this is the first ever.
Okay.
So the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, we're very excited about this show. As you know, yachting is a big business for us. However, like you mentioned, we have the Worldwide Yacht, Worldwide Boat, which is an international yacht company. They actually are partnering with the Ministry of Tourism and the Association of Bahamas Marinas to organize this show. And we're so happy that they have considered the Bahamas for this. It's going to be a 4-day event over the period February 27th through March 1st. And so we're looking forward to it. And it is a non-profit organization. And so Worldwide Boat has extended to tried to secure a number of sponsors for the show, which include, we have Diamonds International, Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, and Wildflowers. And so we thank them all for their sponsorship, which is very important. Now it's also a non-profit event, and so we have with us Ranfley Homes for Children and Worldwide Boat Sorted Fitting to actually raise funds in the amount of about $110,000. They're looking to raise funds to support Ranfley's STEP program.
Excellent. And so the boat show itself, the Worldwide Yacht Group will be bringing in different yachts that look differently. I'm just trying to get a context of what the show itself will actually look like.
Well, actually, there will be 23 luxury yachts.
Oh, wow.
And along with them we'll have also yacht brokers and captains and crew. But these are really, really nice yachts. I was able to see 2 of them myself, and they're really, really nice.
They sound phenomenal.
Yes, and they range in size about 56 feet to 183 feet.
Wow. Yeah, that's a whole lot of yacht. Okay, and
we'll be hosting them. They'll be housed actually over at the New Point, one particular harbor marina. As well as the Bay Street Marina.
Excellent. All right, well, this sounds exciting, and I think for me, the best part about this is hearing that an international organization has decided to contribute funds to the Ranfley Homes for Children. You came to us earlier when you guys were first launching the STEP program, but remind us about this amazing initiative that Ranfley started this year.
So the STEP program is a transitional home for children that leave the home system.
Right.
Because we don't have those children don't have a regular family, say, to help to transition them from 18 to 21 into young adulthood. They can lose their way easily because they've gone from the cocoon of Ranfley. Basically, we are, a protective glove for these children, and then they go into the big wide world. And we started to notice how many children just seem to lose their way in the early 20s when they left the home system and didn't have anything to fall back on, or very little to fall back on. Some obviously had mentors and things like that to support them. So we've come up with a program that we can have a transitional home on the Ranfley grounds in which they are completely independent. Now, it's taken them a while to get that into their brain, but we can see that it's very important. They get a chance to test out rents and paying BC and all of those things, BPL, sorry, without having to be out yet into the truly big bad world.
Right, yeah, and I actually know one of the young ladies in your transitional program, and I was so happy to see her working the other day and to just realize that she's grown up now and that she has that support.
Yes.
So how important is a donation like that to making sure a program like this continues?
Well, we want to have 10 pods, and each pod, which is 2 rooms, is 110,000. So this is very important because we're about to launch on. We've done one because we had to get it going. We didn't want to just be yet another year passing with just saying we did it. And so now this would allow us to do 2 more, actually.
Excellent. So this means a whole lot. And then how does it feel, I guess, to know that this is an international group that's working to do this for you?
Well, we're very grateful to the Ministry of Tourism for, first of all, introducing us to the Bahamas Charter Show, because it was their introduction that brought them to us. So we're very grateful for that. They understand the worthiness of what we're trying to do, and that was very important for us to realize. I feel like there are so many international organizations that could be benefiting the different charities. We're grateful that we're this one. You know, I always plug for Ansley. I seem to do a lot of begging for Ansley. Well, that's okay. But we realize, how important it is for not only our country to benefit from things like the Bahamas Charter Show, but for the side effects of it, basically, the trickle-down effect.
Certainly.
It's massive.
And as we talk about the Bahamas Charter Show, Director, is there any place we could just go for more information or to learn more about the organization or the event?
Yes, certainly. www.bahamaschartershow.com. That's where you can receive further information. Just to piggyback off what Ms. Lynch was saying, the pods to which she spoke, this charter show, like I mentioned, this is the first, but however, this is expected to be an annual event.
Excellent.
And so, and Ranfurly Home is to be expected to continue to benefit from this show.
That's good news.
Hopefully that'll be one pod per year.
That is excellent. Well, congratulations to both of you. I am so happy to hear that we're bringing a show like this, that we hope to continue with, and then to know that not only is it benefiting us from a tourism perspective, but that locals are really benefiting through this initiative. So this is great news. Congratulations to both of you. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
Do you want to know more about the scriptures, the early Christian church, its teachings, suffering, other religions, the authenticity of the Bible? The Anglican Theological Institute is for you. Enroll in the 3-year certificate program. Classes are conducted from NASA and Freeport on Saturday mornings. Don't miss a class. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with high-speed internet. Contact us at 603-2481. Visit our Facebook page. Pick up an application form at any Anglican church or at Addington House on Sands Road. The Anglican Theological Institute is for you.
Maybe you have Rev Phone with its tons of awesome and free features. Or you're watching great content on Rev TV. Or maybe you have our blazing fast internet. So you already know how good it is to have one Rev service. Imagine if you had all 3. With Trio, you get all of our services for $99. And you get entered into our $250,000 cashback Christmas. So the question is, why don't you have Trio? Just call 601-8992 or email us at trio@cablebahamas.com. Rev, you and us together.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this marvelous Monday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Philip Simon.
Thank you for staying with us.
Yes, great show. You know what I forgot to mention in the opening, in the introduction?
What's that?
I was also in Foxville yesterday, man.
Oh,
How can I
nice.
forget, man? You know, with the guys, the Congos.
Yay, Congos!
We had the community center, and they had a nice little reception event, you know, recognizing sponsors, etc. But listen, I mean, the passion. I wish I should have given the clips. You know, I had my phone out to G-Day before we started. But just being there, and in particular, again, watching those kids, man, you know, just
Yeah, no, they have it. They have
doing
it.
their thing, and their
They
passion
have
is
it.
like, listen, all up in their belly.
And that's why I say to people, like, my daughter's most natural thing is to dance.
Is to dance, right?
You know, and she came out of the womb dancing, and she hears music, and before she could walk, she could nod and move her body.
It's us,
she was
man.
dancing,
It's
and so it's who
us.
we
It's
are
us.
as a
It's
people.
powerful.
You
It's
know?
a powerful tool for, you know, not just self-development, community development, national development. So listen, I'm going to say to those of you out there who love Foxville,
Go for it, Phil. You know,
I
I
love
stay
jumping
baking, so
over.
you go for it.
man, reach out to those guys. Be a part of the Congos, assist them, man. Let's make this even better.
Awesome stuff. That's good to hear that you were able to go back home to your community. And Foxville, for all of us as a people, I think, even if we didn't grow up there or from there, it's a national treasure and one that should be honored and respected. And so, yeah, congratulations to the Congos, and we wish you guys all the best moving forward. We still got more to come in the second half of the show. We're going to be talking with
Bahamas General Insurance Agency is here. Pat Ward. Pat Ward is going to be talking about that. Of course, this month is Insurance Month. We didn't say that at the beginning as well. So they're going to be talking about post-storing events and just the industry in general.
And then I'm sure that this is also a time when people want to make sure that those insurance policies are up to date because we are going to come into another hurricane season very
just
soon.
like right away, man. It just seems that all we do is recover from hurricanes.
But this is where we are, and this is why climate change and the discussion around climate change and sound building is so critical to us. Like, it's not something to be talked about in the future anymore. It's very real. And a part of that is insurance policies, and a very big part of that is understanding how long we will be insurable, given that this is our circumstances.
That is interesting. I'll ask
So,
that question.
you know, a lot happening there, but we're going to talk about it with them. And then, of course, we've got our team from Atlantic Medical here. Good-looking guys all around me this morning. But they're going to be talking to us about the heart and how important it is to make sure that you're paying attention to that. Of course, February is also Heart Month, so this is a great conversation to have. We've got all of that ahead for you and more, but before that, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise. Brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Stan. Good morning, Bahamas. And let me say good morning to who's the sponsor? The sponsor of the show, who's up there right now, who sponsors the weather from its inception. And thank you very much for the sponsorship of Weather at Sunrise. In your second look at weather at sunrise this morning, high pressure down weather feature across the island, so some strong breezes over the next couple of days ahead of another cool front that should move in here sometime late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. In your marine forecast today, we have a caution posted. Those winds are blowing east to southeast at 15-20 north seas, 47 feet over northwest and central Bahamas, east at 15-20 north seas, 46 feet over southeastern islands. Then on Tuesday, those winds become southeast to south at 15-20 north seas, 46 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 north seas, 2 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, after that cold front, those winds south to southwest at 15 north seas, 2 to 5 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 north seas, 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Tides. You can expect a high tide 8:18 this morning. Next low tide will be 2:39 this afternoon. High again tonight at 8:36. Sunset at 6:09 this evening. Rises on 6:37. UV index 8. Your water temperature 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase. No moon. Extended look. Air low cold front. Partly sunny skies. Warm temperatures. So temperature daytime reaching in the mid-80s. At nighttime in the low 70s. After the front passes on Thursday, we have a nice cool down. Those temperatures move into the upper 60s, low 70s daytime, and at nighttime in the mid to upper 60s. That puts a wrap on your fun like a brother at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. Of course, this has been and is the month of love. And of course, we're talking self-care. And in particular, we're discussing heart health. The guys, the boys are back, ladies. and gentlemen, Donovan Ingram, Atlantic Medical Wellness Coordinator, and Nibal Miller, Assistant Wellness Coordinator. Gents, welcome back to the show. It's
good to have us back. Thank you for being.
You guys all threaded up this morning. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Of course, we're talking heart health. Again, it's a very important topic. Sometimes we take it for granted. We just expect it to keep on beating for us. But when we talk about the phenomenon of heart disease, I mean, you know, just tell us a little bit about what that means and how it actually impacts the Bahamas.
Well, you know, heart disease is a big phenomenon here in the Bahamas. If you look at 3 different statistics from the Bahamas Department of Statistics, the Pan American Health Organization, and also the World Health Organization, you would know that then cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer for Bahamians to date. In fact, some 24% of all deaths in the country are related to cardiovascular disease, and the Bahamas is ranked within the top 26 of all countries as relates to cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, and heart health. And this is big. This is epic in terms of health in the country. We want persons to know this. We want them to know that they can reverse their blood pressure measurement. We want them to attain a blood pressure measurement of 120/80 or less. For those who have cholesterol issues, and that's also reversible. Having a cholesterol measurement of 200 or less is what we want them to aim for, you know. And then also educating them about good cholesterol versus bad cholesterol, knowing which one is the good sources to have, which ones we should increase, those that need to be decreased in terms of HDL and LDL. But overall, we want them to know that health is reversible, and this phenomenon is not something that needs to go on for years to come. In fact, Bahamians can do things today to stop this onset.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about these parameters, whether it's cholesterol or measuring cholesterol or high blood pressure, those types of things. I mean, how often should we be taking these types of measurements and you know, keeping up with these indicators?
Well, to be honest with you, Philip, we definitely got to take advantage of these stuff by using your annual physical, especially what we provide here at Atlantic Medical Insurance. Even a part of our wellness initiatives, we host a list of biometric screenings with our companies, and we encourage the employees there to take advantage of those free initiatives that we host at your company, at your office spaces. And it's good and it's vital to know your numbers. For example, I had maybe 4 family members, family members, a part of my family in the past 10 years have died from heart disease. Wow. So the numbers that Donovan mentioned just now, it hit close to home for me as well too.
Yeah, I mean, so annually, you know, as we get older, should we be checking these things more often?
Well, you should check on a regular basis. My suggestion is, if you have a monitor at home, check it every day. You know, sometimes check it twice a day. For those who know that they are at risk for hypertension or you've already been diagnosed with it, then you want to be checking these numbers on a regular basis. I wouldn't wait 6 months or a year for an annual physical to know those numbers. And what I always recommend to persons as well, just don't know if the number is low or if it's high, because usually they take the advice of the physician, oh, it's good, or it's a bad number. Know physically what that number is. If you know exactly what that number is, the next time you do take a measurement, you would have known if you've improved or if you've declined in terms of health. So knowing the specifics is very, very important. And then knowing what your genetic background is, like Nabal mentioned, knowing what your risk factors are. And if you know your risk factors, you know your numbers, and you're eating healthy, you're exercising, you're reducing your stress levels, you should overcome this phenomenon.
You talk about stress levels. I mean, you would think that here in the Bahamas, we shouldn't have any stress like that, but of course we do. I mean, how does stress affect heart health?
Oh, it affects it tremendously. A lot of individuals that you find that have hypertensive issues or high blood pressure, they have a lot of stress coming from financial stress, family stress, work stress. So stress plays a very intricate part in those numbers being so elevated.
But you know, we have a running joke. You say being an adult is very stressful. It can be very overwhelming. In the Bahamas, no matter where you are in any country, you know, responsibilities play a big toll. Being an adult plays a big toll. Wanting to accomplish a great profession, you know, being in charge of your profession. Those things take a lot of effort. They take a lot of thoughts, and they do put a lot of stress on the individual. And the more stressed the individual individual is, and the combination of different stresses does cause the blood pressures and the risk factors for hypertension and risk factors for stroke and also the risk factors for heart attack to be prevalent.
And this is what the program's all about.
Right.
Yes. I mean, tell us, what is as wellness?
So exactly. So our main aim is to reduce individuals' risk to non-communicable diseases, as we mentioned just now, hypertension, also diabetes. Our program is tailored towards making it a fun and interactive environment while subliminally sending the message of living a healthier lifestyle and encouraging good habits.
Yeah. Definitely an education session. Zest aims at educating members so that you can be in full charge of your own health. We want persons to be willing to make changes for themselves. So we create the opportunities for them. We create initiatives like fitness classes for them to attend so they can reduce the onset of heart disease and hypertension. We want them to do things like aerobics, spinning, going for runs on a regular basis. Our annual fun run walk is definitely a great venture for that as well. Different opportunities like gardening sessions, meditation sessions, yoga, which is very impactful for not only bone and muscle, but also very meditative, you know. Then we also create educations where persons are learning to eat healthier. Our farmers market tour and workshop is definitely one of those options where persons are learning to eat more vegetables versus foods high in salts, high in fats, things that are going to contribute to an elevated blood pressure or elevated cholesterol number.
I mean, it seems very comprehensive, of course, and holistic in its approach, right? I mean, I guess that is the human body. I mean, the mind, body, soul. Just loving the fact that Zest Wellness takes into account all of these things. You have biometric screenings as well, the disease management programs. What is Zapungo? I'm reading that here as like Zapungo.
So Zapungo is one of our features on the Virgin Pulse platform. And so through our wellness program, we offer recipe ideas. And Zapungo is a database of millions of recipes. So if chicken is your favorite meal, I know it can get tiring sometimes. If I
never get tired.
But if you Google chicken and Zapungo, you can get thousands of ways of making chicken. Marinara chicken, jerk chicken, baked chicken, whatever kind of form of chicken you want. And that's for vegetables as well. So if you've heard of a vegetable that you've never eaten before, you enter it in Zapungo and you can learn millions of ways of making it.
Right. Wow. And to be honest with you too, for example, it's still fun-loving meals that we prepare on Saturdays. You're just making them in a healthier way through the Zapungo app.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's step all the way back. I mean, because again, we've heard a lot about the program here on Bahamas at Sunrise. But what was the original motivation behind it?
Well, you know, there's an increase in health concerns here in the country. And our insurance company, Atlantic Medical Insurance, thought it very important to educate members. Instead of seeing these claims come in and trying to settle the claims, getting medical care, we thought, why not create a preventative care program? And so Zest Wellness is definitely preventative care. We're educating members so that the health claims are reduced. And this is a win for employers and employees because in the end, we want them to reduce their premium costs, we want them to reduce their claims costs, but and most importantly, we want them to be healthier.
And you love it too. I mean, we've had some of them on the show, and they turned that into a very competitive environment.
And then the step counting does add to that. You know, it creates that camaraderie amongst persons, and it motivates persons to be a little bit more active.
Listen, guys, thank you so much. I always love having you here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Donovan Ingram, Atlantic Medical Wellness Coordinator, and Naval Miller, Assistant Wellness Coordinator. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, great. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Dame Doris Sands Johnson, born June 19, 1921, was a Bahamian teacher, suffragette, and politician. She was the first female Senate appointee and the first woman granted a leadership role in the Senate. Once in the legislature, she was the first woman to be made government minister and then was elected as the first woman president of the Senate. She was the first woman to serve as acting Governor General of the Bahamas and was honored as Dame Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II. Born on New Providence Island, she completed her secondary education and became a teacher. After teaching for 17 years, Johnson returned to school to earn a master's degree and doctorate degree in educational administration. She made a compelling speech to the Bahamian legislature in 1959, pleading for women's suffrage, and subsequently made a similar plea to the colonial office in London. Once the right to vote had been secured, Johnson immediately entered politics in 1961, running in the first election in which women were allowed to participate. Though she lost her bid, she worked with the Progressive Liberal Party to gain Bahamian independence. When the country gained its freedom from colonial rule, Johnson was appointed to the Senate and served the government until her death in 1983.
This is Eddie, and Eddie's a change counter. This is Sean. Sean doesn't have to count change because when Sean purchases a plan with Alive, it's VAT inclusive. Keep things simple, just like Alive's all new VAT-inclusive prepaid plans with more talk, more text, and even more data. So don't be an Eddie. Freedom simplified. Alive. Believe in best.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm looking forward to this conversation, a very, very important conversation that we're going to have now. Very happy to welcome Patrick Ward. He's the former chairman for the Bahamas General Insurance Association. And of course, it is Insurance Month. And now we know that after Hurricane Dorian, Hurricane Joaquin, and Matthew before it, the conversation of insurance is incredibly important. And so this morning we're going to be talking about some of those major issues that will impact our insurance, how we move forward in the future, and then of course, what have been some of the major challenges for the agency itself post-story. And so we'll learn all of that this morning. Thank you so much for staying with us. Good morning, Patrick.
Anastasia, good morning, and good morning, Bahamas. It's great to be on this program.
Yeah.
We've been sponsoring it for a while, so it's good to be here to put in a personal appearance.
That's why I'm so happy to see you, because we certainly wouldn't have been able to continue to do weather for all the years we've done it without you, and so grateful to have one of our sponsors with us.
Very fantastic.
Obviously, this is a very important conversation, one I'm very excited to have with you. But before we get into some of the major questions specifically related to hurricane insurance and home insurance, could we talk more about generally the Bahamas General Insurance Association? Who are you and what is your mandate?
Well, that's an interesting question because what we represent today, and it's now become known as the Bahamas Insurance Association, is really a coming together of the two segments of the industry. In the 1970s, the Bahamas General Insurance Association formed its association primarily as a trade organization to represent the interests of the then general insurance sector. And around the same time, in about the mid-70s, the Bahamas Life and Health Insurers formed their own association, and they were also a trade association to look after the interests of the life and health companies in the market at that time, along with all of the intermediaries that represented both the life and health and the general sector. So in one form or the other, both segments of the industry had their separate representations. In 2010, after sort of keeping pace and looking at and observing trends that were occurring globally as well as locally, a decision was made to combine both organizations into what we now call the Bahamas Insurance Association, so that we have now a combined strength of the general sector together with the life and health sector into one trade association so that we can represent the industry as a whole. And that's proven to be quite effective because it brought new life and impetus into the association. It's made us a stronger organization. We're more focused on the issues that are important to all segments of the insurance market. And it's resulted in us being more effective in being able to engage important stakeholders like the government, members of the public with educational programs, our own staff members in terms of developing educational points of focus, and also just carrying out a broader mandate that we have, which is to educate the public about all aspects of insurance and to engage the government primarily on matters related to legislation whether it's in draft form or existing legislation where there needs to be some change, or we feel that our input is going to be required or necessary. So it's a thriving organization. I was happy to be a part of the General Insurance Association as chairman for a few years before we merged, and I'm delighted to be a part of what is now a stronger, more robust organization going forward.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I know that you say former chairman, so I'm not sure how aware you would be of what's happening this month, but are there any particular activities that we should be aware of?
Sure. Obviously, as a member of the association, we keep in touch with what's going on. So February is really Insurance Month. There are a number of things that have already happened. Some of them focus on education, exposure. A number of conversations with educational institutions have already taken place to talk about insurance, to talk about what we do in the industry and our part in the overall economy. One of the things that we're doing this year is during the whole month, we're doing a food drive. And that's going to result in us supporting a number of charities. I think there is a particular focus on people that are part of that segment of our collective societies in Abaco and Grand Bahama that were impacted by Dorian in particular. And it will culminate this Saturday coming with a fun day where we all get together. We have a little bit of competition going on. But if you're a member of the public and you want to come and see your insurance entity, whichever that might be, participate in some fun, you're welcome to come and join us at the Bahamas First General Insurance Building on Collins Avenue, which is where we're going to do our event from Saturday morning.
Okay, sounds like a wonderful month, and now we get to share in that education. Some of the really important questions I wanted to ask you before we do run out of time. Unfortunately, the segment is not as long as I would want it to be. As we look toward the future, and this month your theme was insurance, a resilient industry. When we look toward the future and we recognize that we might not be as resilient as a nation as we think, how do you see insurance working hand in hand with us moving forward in an economy post-Dorian? Are we going to find ourselves in a place where we are uninsurable, or do we see, rates not necessarily increasing as much as the magnitude of the damage? Kind of talk to me about what the future looks like for insurance in a country that is so hurricane prone.
Sure. So I guess the beginning of that really is, how do you test resiliency from an insurance industry perspective? And I think there are two issues. One, how well have we performed in terms of paying claims? And I think the industry has done extremely well in relation to our response to Dorian. And then secondly, are we going to be in a position where we can actively trade and do business in a way that reflects what our clients are demanding of us? And I think, there is some really good green shoots emerging that would indicate that the industry is not just resilient from a claims paying perspective, but we're also resilient in terms of being able to be there for the future. So there is no concern that I'm aware of that would suggest that the industry is going to sort of withdraw in terms of our active participation in the economy of the Bahamas. And we're actually standing ready to assist persons to rebuild, to ensure and take some of that exposure and risk out of the economy that effectively guarantees that things will sort of go away, will go forward in a smooth way. And in some ways, we're really that sort of grease that keeps the engine of the economy going, because risk transfer is very important, and we are primarily involved in the business of transferring risks in the most efficient way that we can possibly do it, and that helps everybody from an economic perspective.
All right. Is there truth to the rumor that there's only a certain amount of times you can actually claim insurance before no one will insure you again?
No, it's not as easy as that. I think, for example, I think I can categorically say that if you are the subject of an event that has resulted from an accidental cause, no good faith insurer will effectively cancel your policy simply because you've had accidental claims. There may be situations where there are other factors that come into play that might determine that just one claim will result in a cancellation, but generally speaking, you're not going to be subject to just the whimsical approach of an entity saying that they're going to cancel your policy simply because you've had multiple claims through no fault of your own.
As we look toward the future, and we do have to wrap up here, people have questions or concerns about insurance, and they want to learn more, whether from Bahamas First independently or the association in general. How can they contact you?
Well, the easiest way to do it nowadays is just to visit the BIA website, the BahamasInsuranceAssociation.org, and there's a wealth of information there in terms of historical developments, And there's, more importantly, even contact details for persons that can steer you in the right direction.
Okay,
so whether it's for educational pursuits, where, because it's an academic program or a project, or just simply someone wanting to enhance their own knowledge base, I think that's a good starting point.
Excellent.
And they'll point you in the right direction.
All right. Well, Mr. Patrick,
yes,
thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. Obviously, a pleasure to have one of our longtime sponsors with us, and congratulations to the Insurance Association on a wonderful month, and certainly to the industry as you all also deal with the fallout of the storm and doing an excellent job and as best you can supporting those claims. So thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks for having me.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
One thing, two things, new thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope you enjoyed our show. Listen, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye.